What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation that we've just seen on the screen?
I don't know. Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. Horrible death. Death. I don't know.
But you know that
To pick anyone, white South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. And this is all, I mean, I'll give these to you. So when you say, what would I like to do? I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couple say that they were attacked violently.
Yes, that's right, sexy patriots. World-class racist Donald Trump spent yesterday afternoon insulting and demeaning yet another foreign head of state, live from the Oval Office. This is the Adam Parkhomenko Show, and I'm your host, Adam Parkhomenko. It's Thursday, May 22nd, 2025, and Donald J. Trump is still, unfortunately, President of the United States. So that means we've got a lot to dig into from the past 24 hours. But first, please take a moment, hit the subscribe button to support our new show. It's just getting off the ground. We really need your support. And be sure to hit the little bell icon so you can get notified every time we post a new video. Love y'all. Now, let's get back into it. Leaving aside Trump's Oval Office explosion of lies and white grievances, the big news out of yesterday, well, actually, technically today, is that House Republicans mustered a single vote, yes, you heard that correct, majority, to pass their quote-unquote big, beautiful bill in the middle of the night, of course. And all I could think of when I heard this news was we just lost our local Congressman Jerry Connolly here in Virginia. This is nothing new for House Republicans. They try to rob Americans every single chance they get when a Democrat is in the hospital, having a pregnancy, getting surgery, or unfortunately, that we lose. It's disgusting, pathetic, and unpatriotic. Now, here's MAGA Congressman Mark Alford promoting the bill's bigotry, followed by the incredible and unwavering Democrat Jim McGovern, who has just been the best and we all love, calling his bullshit on the entire thing. Let's take a look.
And yes, Mr. Speaker, this draws the clear line. No taxpayer dollars for sex change surgeries for anyone. I urge a yes vote on this big, beautiful bill.
Gentleman yields back. Gentlelady from Indiana reserves. Gentleman from Massachusetts is recognized.
Yeah, my friends are so proud of this bill that they're doing it at 1:25 a.m. in the morning. And the bottom line is the reason why we don't like the bill is, we don't think billionaires deserve any more tax cuts, and we don't want to support a bill that screws regular people.
Now, just a reminder that in addition to his obsession with trans people, Mark Alford recently told fired federal employees that, quote, God has a plan and purpose for your life. Mark, it's Adam. God called. He said, you're a fucking asshole. Some people really have a knack for dealing with assholes, like Mark Alford and Speaker Mike Johnson. Now, Congresswoman Jahana Hayes, who, as you may or may not remember, was named Teacher of the Year not too long ago for the entire country, is one of those individuals. Let's watch Jahana destroy both the big, beautiful bill and how it was rammed through Congress in just 30 seconds.
It is just cruel. Every provision in this program is cruel, and they know it. That's why none of them spoke on it in committee. That's why they were silent in budget. That's why they have nothing to say. That's why they have no response. That's why they don't hold town halls. That's why they don't answer questions. All they do is tweet, repeat, and hide in the back until they vote yes.
Time has expired.
Okay, now, even Kentucky Republican Thomas Massie, who is an absolute terrible human being, knows there's nothing beautiful about this bill that gives tax cuts to oligarchs and cuts Medicaid and SNAP benefits and plunges the entire country further into debt. Massie is a right-winger, but even a broken clock is right twice a day. Check out some rare honesty from the other side, and probably some honesty that stems from somebody who is very worried about losing in what would be nothing other than a red district.
Mr. Speaker, we're not rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic tonight. We're putting coal in the boiler and setting a course for the iceberg. If something is If something is beautiful, you don't do it after midnight. I oppose this bill.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Wow. Okay, I have two reactions to that. One, well said, and I can't even believe I'm saying this because literally Massie is the scum of the earth. All right. And two, this guy is definitely not going to last very long in Donald Trump's Republican Party. I know this may sound terrible, but I still won't be sad to see him go. And if there is a cycle that we're ever going to flip some of these seats, it is this one. So it makes a lot of sense why Massie is doing and saying what he's saying, because the reality is anybody who knows Thomas Massie, this is not who he is. And as Democrats and as Americans, we must fight and compete for every single seat this cycle. That means this year and next year ahead of the presidential in 2028. Now, moving on. We're about 6 weeks out from quote unquote Liberation Day, i.e. the day that the value of Americans' retirement was liberated from their portfolios. So what's going on with all these trade deals that we've been promised? Now, even Fox News wants to know, which is pretty wild. And even the head of Trump's National Economic Council isn't quite sure. Check out Kevin Hassett, better known as the dude who reminded the teacher to assign homework, squirming, clearly out of the loop.
Where do we stand on trade deals? The last we heard that we were getting close to 20 deals, and we were promised that these deals would be announced soon. But why no announced deals yet?
Well, first, there's a lot going on in the world, as you know, and there's been a lot of focus over the last couple of days in the White House on getting the House bill through. That pretty much almost the whole White House team was up working with Speaker Johnson yesterday. As you know, the president was on the Hill. But I was in the Oval yesterday with Howard Lutnick and Jamison Greer going over some of the next steps. And I'm highly confident that you'll see a handful of new deals over the next 2 weeks. And Lutnick and the president are still finalizing the details, but they're so close that I feel like we're very close to having some more announcements. And there's probably a handful of near-term announcements.
Okay, so this dweeb doesn't know shit, but the Secretary of Commerce must have an idea of unfucking this global trade crisis that Trump instigated, right? Wrong.
The 18 key trading partners, the government administration has deals arrangements with the UK and China. How many more of the 16 do you see making deals with by July 8th?
Yes.
Most of the 16.
Yeah.
A few.
That's the point.
Some.
I mean, look, there are some countries that are impossible. Like the European Union, it's just very difficult because, you know, Germany would like to make a deal, but they're not allowed.
So some, not a lot.
No, I think most countries will have an idea of what we want to do with them, and the president will decide if they've made us an offer worthy of modifying their tariff terms, we'll do it. And if they haven't made us an offer that modifies it, the president will write them a letter saying, "Dear country A, we deeply appreciate doing business with you. Here's your tariff rate."
And do you think that will stand up when they're challenged by those countries?
Challenged how? In like pickleball?
Wait, sexy patriots. Lutnick may have no plan to resolve global trade, but he is your guy if you've got $5 million in cash and no U.S. passport. All right, now check out Lutnick cosplaying as Trump, telling Axios about the time he was selling green cards to foreign nationals over cocktails and McDonald's, and we're not loving it.
How many have you informally sold or pre-cleared or however you think?
So I'm in the Middle East. I'm at one of these giant dinners. There's 400 people at this giant dinner, and everyone's really respectful. And I have my phone out, you know. And so someone says, one of the senior leaders walks by me and goes, "Why do you have your phone out?" I go, "I'm selling him cards." So like, okay. So basically, everyone I meet who's not an American is going to want to buy the card if they have the fiscal capacity. Because why wouldn't you want to be able, if something bad happens in the world?
But most of the world can't.
Well, I'm not saying, right. For those who can afford to help America pay off its debt, right? This is for people who can help America pay off its debt.
Howard Lutnick talks about $5 million like it's chump change, which it is for a guy like Howie, who's worth over $3 billion. But for today's final clip, I want to leave you with Judge Jeanine Pirro, who is losing her effing mind over $7 in a missed water delivery.
Hi, everyone. It's Judge Jeanine. I'm at the water cooler in the United States Attorney's Office in Washington, D.C. And you may recall that the United States gave something like $44 billion a year through USAID for things like dance classes in Wuhan, China, and Sesame Street in Iraq. But here in the United States, in the United States Attorney's Office, where we prosecute crime on behalf of the victims, on behalf of the people who are targeted by criminals, the U.S. attorneys, as well as the staff, in order to get water, they have to join a water club. And they have to pay. It's a dues-paying membership. And today they asked for our patience. Why? Because we couldn't get water delivered today. Today, there was no water delivered to the United States Attorney's Office. And remember, it's only for those who pay $7 a month. Now, ain't it grand to be a part of the government? And I'm just thrilled to be here.
Someone get this woman an Evian, for fuck's sake. And I know I said Jeanine would be the last clip, but she's not the only member of the Trump administration who is thirsty. Check out this one last short clip where Surgeon General nominee Casey Means tells America horny is healthy.
And I really think we need to reorient to realize that our sexual function and even something like our libido and our interest in sex is actually a barometer for our underlying fundamental health. I mean, that is such a key thing that we need to focus on. If you're having issues in those domains, which, as we just talked about with those statistics, many or most Americans are, it may be a big red warning sign that there are things happening under the hood in terms of our metabolic health and metabolic dysfunction that will lead to very serious issues down the road.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but the message I'm getting from Casey, loud and clear, is Make America Horny Again. Seems like an interesting message from the party who wants to ban porn. But maybe that's the reason why Mike Johnson has a, son who monitors his online business. And I will leave you with that. And listen, I want to take a moment to say sincerely from the bottom of my heart, thank you for helping me build this new show and channel. Please consider hitting that subscribe button and hitting the like button so we can grow our platform, get this in front of more Americans, and take our country back from these truly sick people. Every single one of you sharing this with your friends, your family, your neighbors is going to help us reach more voters and make sure that we can end Trumpism for good sooner rather than later. Thank you guys so much. See you tomorrow.